Good morning, everyone. I am Riani Cabel of BSCE 1B, and today, allow me to present a direful topic. Previously talking about land pollution and water pollution, we may just unfold now the threat that air pollution brings us. Let us discuss the subject through this outline. We will first recognize how air pollution looks like and define what it is to our environment. Afterwards, let us ponder on the activities that induce such threat and on how we and the environment have suffered and how worse it could get if we just don't take action. But before anything else, let us know that air is supposed to be clear, invisible, and intangible. It is composed of gas particles that provide suitable oxygen for the most living things that inhabit the planet. But with air pollution, then, we are revealing the damage that has been done and is still currently doing on point. How does air pollution looks like? Well, with smog, soot, greenhouse gases, pollen and mold, smoke, ash, and many more other hazardous air pollutants, the environment is barely enduring amidst the air pollution. Now let us then define this huge culprit. What is air pollution? In simpler terms, it refers to the release of pollutants into the air. Pollutants which are detrimental to human health and the planet as a whole, and that according to the World Health Organization, it is responsible for nearly 7 million deaths around the globe each year. And now what causes air pollution? What accumulates all this dirt into our atmosphere? Well, first, we have the aerosols. These are any solid and liquid particles that suspend in the air. It is any particle that gets picked up into the air and is formed from chemical reactions in the air. They can be burnt fossil fuels, car exhaust, smoke, dust, pollen, mold, spores, ash, and many more. Secondly, we have the ozone, especially in cities. It is a greenhouse gas that can be both good and bad for the environment. It's good though when it's high up in the atmosphere, as it helps block harmful radiation from the sun. But unfortunately, when it's close to the ground level, it combines with other pollutants and creates smog, a smoky fog that makes it difficult to see and then contaminates the air we breathe, as well as damage the crops, trees, and vegetation. Ozone is, by the way, created when sunlight reacts with certain chemicals that has underwent burning. Next, we have shown here the burning of fossil fuels. That is usually to produce energy for electricity and transportation, but this releases carbon monoxide in high levels that actually reduces the heart's ability to pump enough oxygen when inhaled. With wildfires then burns stubble and farm residues that are more harmful as it collides with chemical gases and pollens that all add up to the existence of smog too, as shown on the second photo. Transportation is in no denying a major contributor to air pollution as well, as cars burn gasoline and emits pollutants into the air. It becomes as harmful as smoking 10 cigarettes a day, as vehicles emit carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matters. Industrial emission then, on the last photo, affects air quality in ways more than we can even imagine. Nitrogen dioxide, sulfuric dioxide, and carbon monoxide are the key pollutants that industrial activities emit from using coal and wood as their primary energy source for production. Moreover, Even the microbial decaying process also increase the risk of air pollution, as they may be fundamental role of bacteria and fungi in the biogeochemical cycles. Decaying them releases methane gas, which are highly toxic and can lead to death. Constructions and demolitions then, as part of the development phase of the population rise, it also contributes to haze and foul air that are harmful for especially the children and the elderly citizens in the surrounding areas. In addition, agricultural activities also decreases air quality. Spraying pesticides and fertilizers leave a foul smell and harmful chemicals that impose numerous health-related issues. Lastly, use of chemical and synthetic products indoors is also dangerous for our lives and the environment, as household products is 10 times more harmful than the outdoor air pollution. The volatile organic compounds or VOCs in paints, cleaners, perfumes and deodorants, they make way for risks like asthma and other respiratory issues and diseases. Aren't there so many? Well, as we move on to see their effects, we should be more alarmed and responsible by then. Its first adverse effect is the existence of acid rain. Acid rain is a precipitation containing harmful amounts of nitric and sulfuric acids which are released in the atmosphere as fossil fuels are burned. These acids fall to the earth as wet precipitation through rain, snow, or fog, and as dry precipitation through gases and particulates. Some are also carried by the wind, and sometimes they go for hundreds of miles. In the environment, acid rain damages trees and causes soils and water bodies to acidify, making the water unsuitable for some fish and other wildlife. It also speeds the decay of buildings, sculptures, and statues that are part of our national heritage. Acid rain has damaged the Massachusetts lakes, ponds, rivers, and soils, leading to the damaged wildlife and forests. Secondly, we have eutrophication. It is a condition in a water body where high concentrations of nutrients, such as nitrogen, stimulates the bloom of algae, which in turn cause fish kills and loss of plant and animal diversity. Although eutrophication is a natural process in the aging of lakes and some estuaries, human activities can greatly accelerate eutrophication by increasing the rate at which nutrients enter aquatic ecosystems. Air emissions of nitrogen oxides from power plants, cars, trucks, and other sources contribute to the amount of nitrogen entering the aquatic ecosystems as well. Third, we have haze. It is caused when sunlight encounters tiny pollution particles in the air. It obscures the clarity, color, texture, and form of what we see. Some haze-causing pollutants are directly emitted to the atmosphere by sources such as power plants, industrial facilities, trucks and automobiles, and construction activities. Others are formed when gases emitted to the air, such as the sulfuric dioxide and nitrogen oxides, from particles as they are carried downwind. Next, we have the ozone depletion. Ozone is a gas that occurs both at ground level and in the Earth's upper atmosphere, known as the stratosphere. At ground level, ozone is a pollutant that can harm the human health, but in the stratosphere, it is a layer that protects the life on Earth from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. This good ozone is gradually being destroyed by man-made chemicals referred as ozone-depleting substances, including the chlorofluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons, and halons. These substances were formerly used and sometimes still are used in coolants, foaming agents, fire extinguishers, solvents, pesticides, and aerosol propellants. Thinning of this protective ozone layer can cause increased amounts of UV rays and radiation to reach the Earth, which can lead to more cases of skin cancer, cataracts, and impaired immune systems. UV can also damage sensitive crops such as soybeans and reduce crop yields. Next is the crop and forest damage. Air pollution can damage crops and trees in a variety of ways. Ground level ozone can lead to reductions in agricultural crop and commercial forest yields, reduced growth and survivability of tree seedlings, and increased plant susceptibility to disease, pests, and other environmental stresses, such as a harsh weather. And as described above, crop and forest damage can also result from acid rain and from UV radiation caused by the ozone depletion. Next is the global climate change. Earth's atmosphere contains a delicate balance of naturally occurring gases that trap some of the sun's heat near the Earth's surface. This greenhouse effect keeps the Earth's temperature stable. Unfortunately, evidence is mounting that humans have disturbed this natural balance by producing large amounts of some of these greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide and methane. As a result, the Earth's atmosphere appears to be trapping more of the sun's heat, causing the Earth's average temperature to rise, a phenomenon known as global warming. Many scientists believe that global warming could have significant impacts on human health, agriculture, water resources, forests, wildlife, and coastal areas. Lastly, air pollution also imposes effects on wildlife. Toxic pollutants in the air or deposited on soils or surface waters can impact wildlife in a number of ways. Like humans, animals can experience health problems if they are exposed to sufficient concentrations of air toxics over time. Studies show that air toxics are contributing to birth defects, reproductive failure, and disease in animals. Persistent toxic air pollutants, those that break down slowly in the environment, are of particular concern in aquatic ecosystems. These pollutants accumulate in sediments and biomagnify in tissues of animals at the top of the food chain to concentrations many times higher than in the water or air. And those are the seven effects of air pollution. Indeed, this rising number of pollutants has made breathing fresh and clean air next to impossible. That is why, more than any time before, now and for always in the future, we should be aware and conscious of our relationship with the environment.